What's going on, everybody? Cody here, where'd you get that? And I'm going to share with you where I got what's hiding behind this. But first, to get there, I must tell you about my terrible experience trying to meet Freddie Prinze Jr. So, who is Freddie Prinze Jr.? Freddie Prinze Jr. was a heartthrob of the late 90s, rom-com extraordinaire in the early 2000s. For all of you gamers, he voiced characters in Mass Effect and Dragon Age Inquisition. For all of you Star Wars fans, he's the voice actor for Kanan Jarrus. For all of you wrestling fans, he was a writer and acting coach for the WWE. He's the man behind putting the belt on Jeff Hardy. He wrote for The Undertaker, and he has a really cool podcast called Wrestling with Freddie. Fun fact, he is currently working on creating his own wrestling promotion in California. Now that we know a bit about who he is, what happened? How did I have a terrible experience? Very simple. So, South Texas Comic Con comes down every year to my neck of the woods, and they always put on a great show. So one night, they were sending out all the notifications about who they were bringing down. So one of them happened to be Freddie Prinze Jr. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool. I was sitting next to my wife and I said, hey, check it out. And she was like, that's pretty cool. And so I thought, you know, she's never been to a comic book convention. How cool would it be if I take her to her first one and have her meet Freddie Prinze Jr.? That'd be awesome. So I knew she had a crush on him when she was in high school, so I thought this would be a really cool thing for her. So, suffice to say, I create a plan. I put a budget together, I sell a guitar, I sell stuff, other things, and to raise some money, some funds, right? And I also found out that CGC was going to be there as well, and I was very excited because I had never had a comic book signed, witnessed by CGC to send off for grading. So I was going to do that because Mike Zeck was going to be there, and it had a Secret Wars #8 that needed his signature and a CGC signature series encasing. So that's what my plan was, and so I was going to take Friday off of work, and that's what I did so I could be there all day. Now the reason why I didn't do Saturday or Sunday was because it was my daughter's birthday party. We had family in town, so Friday was just the best day. And so I do that. I take the day off, and I'm going to be there early, so the plan is to go beeline straight to CGC, get my comic book signed and witnessed, and then have the rest of the day to hang out and then meet Freddie Prinze Jr. later. That's what the plan was. And so I get there early, doors open, I beeline for CGC, and they're not there. So they're not there, everybody else is, but the good thing was I'm at CGC's table, I'm first in line, I pull up a chair, and right next to me is Mike Zeck. So I'm like, this is perfect. As soon as I fill out the paperwork, I just move over, have him sign it, come right back, finish the paperwork, and I'm done. But that didn't happen because CGC, the reps, did not show up. They took a very long time. They're very late. And unfortunately, because I am terrible at planning, I waited, and I waited too long. And so I did find out that they're coming from San Antonio, which is about a 4-hour drive. If you're really going for it, you can get here in about 3.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. But the whole point, the long story short, is they arrived very late. But I was there all day, right? And so I would think that I had more time. So I called my wife and say, hey, why don't you go ahead and come on over, and I'll stay in line. But if you get here, then we'll just go meet Freddie Prinze Jr. Not a big deal, and everything will be okay, you know. Then you can leave, and then I'll go back in line, CGC. Anyway, so she gets there, and I see her from my line, and she's standing there. But at the same time, the CGC reps start making a beeline for their table. I'm like, hey, they just got here, because I'm on the phone, like letting her know where I'm at, right? I'm like, hey, they just got here. It'd take like 15 minutes, maybe 20. And then we'll go meet Freddie Prinze Jr. Which is what happened. It was very quick, and walked right over to Mike Zeck, got him to sign these cool comic books. So that happened. That was really cool. And so we go right after, we go straight to Freddie Prinze Jr.'s table, but he's not there. And they have a sign up that says, come back in 15 minutes or something like that. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's go explore a bit. So we go and we explore, we come back 15 minutes, he's still not there. It says like another 30 minutes or something like that. So we're like, okay, let's go explore. And we still have about 3 hours left, or at this point like 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we come back and it says, won't be back for another 15 minutes. And so it's like a whole hour has gone by. He hasn't shown up. And the reason for it was because he was at a panel And I think it was either running long or I don't know. So the point was he was at a panel. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's just take our time. You know, I'm hungry. Let's get some food. And so we're walking around. But we're just waiting for Freddie Prinze Jr., right? So, okay, we still have a couple of hours. And so we come back and he's there now. Or he's been there. And he's chatting up with somebody, and we're at a distance. And my wife was still a little hesitant about meeting him. And so we're at a distance. She's taking a picture of him, and she's kind of getting excited. And she's like, yeah, let's go meet him. So as she says that, I'm looking over her shoulder, and I see his line. One of the volunteers starts closing his line off. It's like, no, this isn't happening. So I run over there and ask the volunteer, like, hey, what's up? Are you guys, is he closing? Like, there's still 2 more hours left, right? And I look past him, and sure enough, they have already loaded up all of his stuff on the table, and he's talking to one last person. I'm like, can we get in there? And the guy's like, no, can't do it. So I'm like, no! So, did not get to meet Freddie Prinze Jr. So every time I would think about that comic book convention, I would just feel sick. And I just, I wanted my wife to meet him, and it didn't happen. And, oh well, right? A year passes, and I still, even after these comic books came in, I just couldn't think about it. I couldn't stand the image, right? The thought of it. Really, it was really discouraging. So a year passes, COVID has hit, it shut everything down. And so, not much going on. All the comic book conventions have been shutting down, and I'm working from home as one did during this time. And so I get a notification from Facebook from Geghead. Geghead is an entertainment group that Freddie Prinze Jr. is a part of. They have D&D tournaments, board games, and other nerdy stuff on there. So I click on the live, and lo and behold, it's Freddie Prinze Jr. and he is live streaming Call of Duty Warzone. And he was really cool. He was doing these Q&As with people who are live with him, and we're interacting in the chat. He's giving out shout-outs. He's answering questions. So I get a shout-out, and he answers a couple of my questions. So it's really cool, and he was a really cool guy, and he's a great storyteller. And so during this time, he goes, hey, you know what? I had all of these conventions lined up, and they're all canceled. So I'm stuck with just stacks of photos of myself, and you know what? I'm just going to give them to you guys. And but you got to win them. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play Call of Duty, and there's like 100 players, and it's like a last person to survive. I don't know what it's called. And so you want to get first place, right? And so he said, if you can guess in the comments what place I get with each try, then you'll win an 8x10 autograph, and I'll write on it whatever you want me to write on it. And I'm like, oh, this is it. This is my redemption. She didn't get to meet him, but at least if I can win an 8x10 signed by him for her, then that's some kind of consolation, right? I feel good about that. So, long story short, about the 3rd day, because he did this for a week, at least a week, he might have done a little longer. Around the 3rd day, I won. And so that was very exciting. He's like, hey man, just contact us. And so I do. I contact them, and they give me options about what I can choose from. And I chose either I Know What You Did Last Summer or Scooby-Doo. So it came in the mail, and I didn't tell my wife about it. And I started filming her. I said, here, open this up. And she opened it up, and she was beaming, man. It was really exciting. So this is what he sent. And so I had him write it out to my wife. Her name is Summer. So it says, to Summer, you're crushing it homeschooling your kiddos. And put a little heart there, Freddie Prinze Jr. So he went with I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I gave them the option to choose. But so yeah, I wanted her to have some kind of message. She started homeschooling our kids. People always ask us all the time, like, was it because of COVID? It's like, no. We'd already made the plans. She was a teacher. She was going to leave teaching that winter. December would be her last month, and then January she'd start at home, homeschooling our kids. And that's a lot of work. You know, that's a big transition. That's a big change in life. And so I was very proud of her, and I wanted him to relay that message to her for me. And so he did. And so This was very exciting, my redeeming moment, right? Anyway, so that's all I got. Thank you so much for sticking around to listen to my tale of woe with a good ending, right? So I get to, every time I think about it now, I can laugh. So that's better. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out with the video clip of my winning, and so you can see it for yourself. But anyway, thanks so much for hanging out.
Oh, Jordan. Cody, did you win? Come on. Did you win, Cody? I definitely have seen Kung Fu Hustle, yes. Yeah, congratulations. First winner. First winner. Nice. Congratulations, Cody Fonseca. Take a picture of your prediction. Send it to us right here at Facebook.com/Gaghead. And give us that address you're comfortable with us shipping it to. We cover all the shipping, all that good stuff. And you get a picture signed, and I'll write whatever you want on it. So thank you for playing, Cody. You're awesome. Let's jump in this next game. Let's get another winner right now.